Hey everyone, Wontonton here, back to bring you another One Piece tournament match, this time featuring Whitebeard versus Doflamingo. He won the high roll, so he chose to go second, as Whitebeards typically want to do, just because it buys you an extra turn before you just start taking life, and they also do just really value that extra card. As Doflamingo, what you really want to see in your starting hand are your rearrangers, so that's either 1 cost Doffy, or Perona, or even 3 cost Doffy, just because you want to rearrange your deck and start using your leader ability and start getting value out of it as early as possible. And then you just want to fill up the rest of the cards in your hand with counters, preferably 2k counters, just so you can protect your board, and especially anything that you manage to play using your leader ability, because they do come out rested. So as you can see, that's what we do here. We play 1-drop Doflamingo, rearrange our deck to make sure that on our next turn we're able to use our leader ability and just cheat out that Moria really early. And that's one of the reasons why Doflamingo is so good in this matchup. Just because Whitebeard's strength is that every other leader needs to attach Dawn just to swing at him. And attaching Dawn is exactly what we want to be doing with Doflamingo anyways. Moria is probably one of the best cards we can get off of our leader ability on turn 2, just because he goes even against Whitebeard, and because of that, we decide to just Brick Fist his Luffy back into his hand, just so we can apply some early pressure to him. Because this is Strawbeard rather than Boatbeard, with Boatbeard you can sort of take it a little bit slower and just slowly clear his board and wait for his life to naturally lower. With Strawbeard, you do want to get him as low as possible because you want him at 0 life before he drops Whitebeard. And so the game plan against Strawberry here is to just swing as often as we can and just try to get him as low as possible and to get out as many cards from his hand as possible as well. He's going to swing 8k into Moria, which we're going to defend because we do need to maintain board control in order to continue applying pressure to him. And this turn, we're going to continue maintaining board control by out-tempoing him, just by bouncing the Luffy once again back into his hand using our Doflamingo. And so we're sitting in a pretty good spot here. We've spent the last 2 turns just bouncing back his Luffy, and so we've completely stopped the development of his own board. And at the same time, we've been able to get multiple swings in and get him down to 2 life, as well as burn a bunch of cards in his hand. So again, we're just going to protect Mori here, giving up the blocker, and he's going to develop the Luffy once again. 3rd time's the charm, I guess. So we dropped the Doffy here just to rearrange the next 5 cards again, and at the same time to protect our board because we're going to be swinging this turn. An alternate play we could have made was to drop 9-drop Mihawk here, because I did have one in my hand, and just bottom deck Luffy and set ourselves up for next turn. But because we are going into his Whitebeard turn, I do just value the extra swing from Doffy, and on top of that we do get a Hancock off the top of our deck. And so this turn we're just trying to prioritize getting rid of as many cards as possible from his. And here he is, right on time, Whitebeard himself, making an appearance. And it's a good thing we do have him down to 1 life at this point, just because Whitebeard is stronger than any other card we have in our deck, and so we are sort of on a clock. And so again, he's going to swing into our Moria, just trying to get rid of the bodies on our board, but we're going to protect them as best we can here. So this whole turn is going to be focused on just swinging at his leader and trying to get rid of the cards in his hand just to set up potential lethal next turn. And so we're going to keep swinging even here just because he does have an active Dawn, so we have to be careful not to overcommit our Dawn here. We don't need to develop any new characters from our hand here just because we have enough pressure on board already, and plus we do get that Jinbei from the Doffy leader ability. And so we've successfully managed to get rid of a lot of the cards in his hand. And we leave up 2 Dawn here just so we can protect one of our characters with a level of Mellow next turn. And so as you can see, as he shows his hand to this camera, he has 3 guard points in hand, and that's why it was so important throughout the game to just continuously apply pressure and force him to burn the counters in his hand. Because when you get to this point in the game where Whitebeard is down on the board and he still has a large hand, it's very easy, and they really excel at just delaying the game and slowly clearing out your board, especially with such a large character like Whitebeard. And so here he starts to get to work on trying to clear our board, but we are going to once again just try to protect our board as best as possible, because our goal here is to finish him off next turn, because we do know he only has 4 cards in hand. And so we just counter out some of his swings, and then we use blockers when necessary. And because he has 4 cards here, as long as we hit properly, we should have the game in the bag. He does show 3 active Dawn, and he does have 4 cards in hand, so we do have to be mindful that he could have Radical Beams or Guard Points. And so what we want to do here is just swing with the 6k bodies first, just to make sure he doesn't get value out of his event cards, because he is going to have to use them in order to survive. Once he's down to 2 cards, it becomes as simple as just slapping on the rest of the Dawn onto Doffy and just swinging at his leader. And that's it for me, guys. Thanks for watching. I ended up finishing first at this tournament, but this isn't the finals match, just because I thought this was more interesting to show, just because there are so many Whitebeards running around. And so in case you guys struggle with Whitebeard, I thought I'd show you how Doffy fares against them. And as usual, you guys know the drill. Please like, comment, and subscribe if you like this type of content. And until next time, we'll talk to you guys later.